I just gotta refresh this. It always takes like several refreshes.
Mhm.
It always takes like several. There you go. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Looks like we are live. Welcome everyone to Serenity Spring Festival Day 5. And of course, today's live stream is with Fracks Sonic Deals, and we are going to dig deep, do a deep dive into life of a Sonic collector. With, of course, Fracks Deals.
Hello, Leah. Thank you so much for having me on here. This is really exciting. I haven't done something like this before, but I'm really quite honored to be invited, and I'm looking forward to discussing things.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, why don't you like start from the very beginning of what got you into, like actually collecting Sonic merchandise?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think I'll probably have to start with like what got me into Sonic first of all, right? I think the first time I played a Sonic game was the GameCube, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. So was really fortunate to start out with that entry in the series. Um, but instantly fell in love with the gameplay and the characters of that game. It definitely had an emotional story. It definitely had some unique gameplay. And so from that point forward, I was kind of a Sonic fan. And after a certain amount of time, I started wanting to kind of celebrate characters I enjoyed, celebrate the characters that made me happy. And so I started looking into acquiring Sonic merch. I think the first Sonic merch I got was a T-shirt, I think from Macy's or something like that. But I was like so nervous and excited to like have a piece of Sonic that I could bring around with me and show off to people. Before long, I had more stuff, and I also yeah, before long I had more stuff, and a lot of people came to know me as the Sonic guy because I would wear a Sonic T-shirt pretty much every day. Once I found out there were more of them, and over time, I just started accumulating things related to Sonic that made me happy. I started engaging a little more with social sites. I know the Sonic Stadium was one I frequented a lot back in the day. I was lurking at the time, so I don't think people remember me from that. But I just wanted more Sonic content in my life, and over the years, there's been a lot of opportunities to collect things.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Like I remember like way back in the day that when it comes to Sonic merchandise, it was so hard to get a hold of Sonic
So
merchandise.
hard, yeah.
I believe it was there in the 90s, but it's just so hard to get a hold of them, if anything. Like,
There were so many occasions where like the only access to a piece of Sonic merch would be through some sort of contest that Sega was holding or a contest that the Sonic Stadium was holding. And I was always trying to like, enter all the raffles and enter all the contests and try all the video contests and stuff like that. Because like that's where all the cool stuff lived. And other than that, there wasn't a whole ton in physical stores at the time. Certainly no way to get stuff from Japan around then too.
yeah, like it's just like it because I know like nowadays this current generation they are so fortunate to get all this Sonic merchandise because I'm like, do you know how hard it was back in the 90s to get this stuff? Like but now I think we have to like give huge shout out to Mike Cisneros from Sega.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
he's the one that literally like helps all those merchandise get approved, and he literally ask like whenever they do those Sonic official live streams where it's like, "Hey, why don't you give us some like merchandise like and maybe you might see it in the future." And he's been making dreams come true about that. Like it's just crazy because now it's like we literally got like an official Tangle and Whisper plushes, which is crazy. Like and then they started expanding like on the plushes and everything, and I'm just like, wow, I remember this was not a thing back in the day. Like making all of like the comic characters as plushies. It's like now they're like slowly getting into it because it's what the fans want. And I think that's great that they listen to the fans, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, Mike is the coolest. I've gotten the chance to meet him and the team in person, and he and his team do so much good work with the merch. I love that they frequently put out posts, kind of like summarizing cool merch that has come out recently. I follow their Instagram a lot, and they've just been amazing at getting the pulse of the community and doing their best to get them stuff they want. And it's going really well. Yeah.
Like, because I remember they didn't really do this back in the day, so it's just pretty fortunate that we have like because those people at Sega are fans of the games too, and they're kind of like they're kind of like with us at the same time. They're like, yeah, I was like, we'll see if we can make this like merchandise, merchandise suggestion come true, so um it, it's just very very phenomenal for what they have been doing now, and I'm really all for it because it's like, hey, it's like it's great. I feel like Sega's one of those like very few like video game companies that actually listen to their fans you know
Yeah,
um
absolutely. You can see in like all the content that the Sonic team makes, whether it's like socials or games or fun little shorts, like you can tell the people making these are actually fans of the content as well. And it's been so cool to see that come through. It's not just a game. It's not just a business. Like these people love Sonic too, and so they know what to put in the content to really get the fans excited about it because they're excited as well.
absolutely, like, yeah, it's oh um but yeah, I think it's just very interesting, you know. Gotta give it chalk it up to Sega, like they're just making dreams come true, and it's just very, very like I'm grateful for what they do. Because like it's crazy when they go live and then people already start like asking in the chat, when can we get this character merchandise? Like they're already suggesting it even before the stream starts with them. And um that's the craziest part. But I'm very curious, like, do you have like specific character merchandise you like going for, or you just go for any like Sonic merchandise?
Oh, that's tough. Yeah, because a lot of the characters I really like don't have a lot of merchandise to go for. I like SBO a lot. Is might be apparent from my avatar. The character is kind of based off of him a little bit, but I like SBO a lot. He's starting to appear a little bit more in Sonic content lately, and I'm really happy for that. But like characters like Styx, um, I love Styx, but like there's probably like less than 10 pieces of actual merchandise for her, and it's tough to find stuff. But I really like Tails too. If there's a set of Sonic merchandise and I can only pick one character, I will go for Tails a lot. He's my boy. He's
Mhm.
been around so long, and I think he has a very relatable personality, character art, set of skills. Like he's just a cool dude, and I'm always rooting for him. So yeah, I like the Tails merch quite a bit. Um,
Nice.
I would say also, like, yeah, if there's a specific genre of merchandise I tend to go to, it's Japan, stuff from Japan. Um, they really have a lot of cool designs, a lot of cool merch, and they come out with merch pretty frequently too. So I
Mhm.
think people who follow me will have noticed that I usually try real hard to get my hands on anything I can Sonic related that's coming from Japan.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like Japan, like it's just like I get envious of Japan because it's like how come US does not get this stuff? Why? like like I especially love those Sonic and Friends merchandise they've been coming out with. I think those are really cool. Like
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
like 'cause like I especially love the plushes because I found out you can get them on Amazon Japan, but I'm kind of like, I have to like pay for shipping, you know? like and I'm like and then I realized that like, wait a minute, I'm actually going to Japan this year. I could just get it over there and then and then I don't have to pay for shipping.
You'll have to pay for some extra suitcases, though, won't you?
Oh no, I'm careful with what I buy. So
Oh, I definitely would not have that much restraint, but I respect that for sure. I'm not good at restraint, but I guess that's why I'm here, huh?
yeah, absolutely. Like it's just like Japan gets like all these great like merchandise. Like I think I think when they did the Sonic Symphony in Japan, they got like stuff that not the other locations got in terms of merchandise.
Yeah, yeah. I was really after those glow sticks for quite some time, but props to the Sonic Symphony team for recognizing that people in the U.S. wanted those too, and
Mhm.
finally bringing the glow sticks to the U.S. I think that's like one of the coolest pieces of merch to come out of the Symphony, and I was really grateful that like didn't have to scour Japanese websites to find one. So
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like, because as soon as I saw the glow sticks, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is gonna blow up, and people in other like parts of the world are gonna ask, "Hey, we want those glow sticks too." You know, so but yeah, it's just like Japan just has like really a lot of great like Sonic merchandise. Even though like in Japan, it's not like Sonic's not really popular there, which is ironic in itself.
yeah, it's funny. I've heard people say that, and you know, I believe them. But the Japanese Sonic fans that I do follow, the amount of enthusiasm that group of people has for Sonic totally
Mhm.
makes up for the fact that maybe Japan as a whole isn't as enthusiastic about Sonic.
Mhm.
Like the fans in Japan that are excited about Sonic, they do so much content. I love that they make little outfits for their plushes. I see those all the time on my feed. There's so much
Mhm.
artwork. There's so much just excitement for Sonic. So um, it was a surprise to me, honestly, when I found out that he's not super popular in Japan overall, because like I see so much passion coming from the Japanese Sonic community on my Twitter
Mhm.
feed.
Mm, yeah, like it's a little weird because you would think the country of origin that made the series would be like the huge center, you know, epicenter of like so many fans, but then it's like and then people actually said, no, it's more the Western that are like fans of this. I'm like, that's interesting. Um but yeah. Ooh, okay. Looks like I see a question in the chat by Kevin. My question to Frack, what is one piece of merch you're most proud of getting, and what is one you really want to get your hands on? That is a great question.
That's a really good question. Yeah, I think one of the pieces is something I can't quite reveal yet, but will be in a future like video or post coming up. I'm just trying to figure out the right time to announce it. But I think there's a lot of comic stuff that I'm really proud of acquiring. There was the I think the Fleetway comic series that happened in the UK for Sonic, the comic book series. There was an issue where before Sonic turned blue, he was this brown hedgehog with like actual spikes instead of, or quills instead of spikes. And there was a whole issue on like his origin story. It was based on the Sonic Bible or something crazy like that. And it turns out the cover art for that was a physical painting that someone did a while back. And I was able to get a hold of that cover art, the original cover art for that issue. And I think I have a massive Sonic collection for comics, but that one is just the coolest to me because I never expected to like find or see that in the wild. And the fact that it deals with such a silly, controversial, unusual part of Sonic's like offshoot lore, I think is just really special to me. And then I think the other big one is the ESP guitars, the
Ooh.
Sonic Adventure guitars, Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog. I was able to get my hands on those, and during the opener of the Sonic Symphony in California, I was able to get them signed by Crush 40, the band, at the Symphony. And to this day, I still can't believe that actually happened. But I'm so grateful to own those, especially since the guitars themselves are impossible to find now. And then, what is one you really want to get your hands on? The other guitar. There's another Sonic guitar in that series that came before those two. It's black with the Sonic eyeball silhouette on it. I think that's definitely considered a grail among a lot of collectors. It'd be really cool to own that someday.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, like because I know those guitars are rare, so it's like it's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that that's so interesting. Ooh, I see another question in the chat by Matthew Perla. What's your guys' favorite Sonic plush? Ooh.
That's a good question. I got one recently, and I think this will help address another question that's down there as well, which is what is the cutest plush that you have? I think the Sonic and Friends plushes that have come out recently, 3 of which are being given away during the stream. So if people are looking to get their hands on one, you have a chance. But the Sonic and Friends plushes that have been coming out in Japan, they made the little ones, they're keychains. They made like slightly bigger ones. And then they made like a jumbo Mochi Sonic plush. And he's so squishy and he looks so happy and he feels just so good to hold. That plush makes me so warm and fuzzy inside. And I think it's probably my favorite plush of the moment. I highly recommend looking into that if people can find one on Amazon Japan or something like that. It's like the Mochi large Sonic and Friends plush. He is a big, silly, squishy boy. And then I mentioned earlier I liked Espio, and there's really not a lot of Espio plushes out there. There's one where he has, I think, his classic look, or what he looked like in the early comics or like the early Knuckles Chaotix days. And it's just a really funny looking style on him. And so I immediately wanted that plush. I was able to get one fairly recently and he's adorable. I generally gravitate towards plushies if they look silly in some way. So that helps.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah. I know, but I want to know your thoughts, Frax, about like the GE ones, the GE Sonic plushes. Like, what are your like thoughts on those?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, they're kind of hit or miss for me. Some of the designs work really well in that style, and some of them don't really. I know. I think the Espio one, right, in particular, it had the way that his head, fins, horns, spikes work on that was obviously pretty difficult to make into a plush, and so that one's a little janky. But then I think you go over to plushes like Chaos Zero. That thing's gorgeous. I love that. That's one of my favorite plushes that I own. So every time they come out with a new character in the GE line, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna flip a coin to see if this is one I'm gonna like or not gonna like so much. So I appreciate that they are so available though, and they have such a large variety of characters. Like, if my favorite character is in that mix, I don't super care if they look a little bit janky. I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna be happy about it. But yeah, I guess that's my opinion on it.
Mhm. Yeah, like some of them are very, very nice, and then some of them are kind of like I know when I got the Amy one from GE, like the modern one, I was like, why is she smaller? Like the size is kind of like the sizes can be very inconsistent, if you know what I mean. Like
Definitely, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say, yeah, the face structure too, like, can vary a lot between plushes.
Mhm. Like, some of them were great, and then some of them were kinda like, uh I'm like, did you not put enough cotton to make the face at least a bit more what they're supposed to look like in 3D?" Um, but 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 I'm very curious from the GE line, like, other than Espio, which characters did you immediately wanted to get when they were first announced in terms of the GE plushes?
Oh yeah, yeah. So Chaos Zero definitely. I think Mephiles, when they came out with him, that was super exciting. He's another character where there's so little merch of him, but he has such a cool design. I needed that
Mm,
one. And Tangle, right? Like they recently came out with Tangle,
mhm.
and she looked really good, I thought. And they did a good job of making her tail appropriately long, which is important for the character. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
I picked those ones up right away.
Nice. Yeah, like Tangle is just has so much energy, and just very hyperactive, and you kind of just have to fall in love with her like hyperactivity. Um with Tangle. Like, I remember when they first unveiled the plush, I was like, "Oh my gosh, the Mad Lads have done it!" Like they made a Tangle plush an official.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like it's not like a fan made one or anything, and I was very very shocked that they did that. Um, but let's see, are there any Frax, I believe you said you want people to comment in the comments below, like right after the stream. Is that what you mean?
Oh
Or
yeah, I don't super know how comments work on this YouTube video, but if there's not a way to comment below the video, in the chat works fine.
okay, just wanted to be sure. um
I'm writing down the names as they appear too. I'm new at
okay,
this YouTube thing.
no problem. Ooh. Okay, so I'm guessing this person Metal Sonic says Amy's pretty cool. What about the Bio Lizard? Is anyone here a Bio Lizard enjoyer?
I know I am. I mean, Sonic Adventure 2 has a very special place in my heart, just in general, and that was such a cool design and a cool boss fight. And we just got a Lego of him. BioLizard Lego just came out, and I'm really excited to put that together. Um,
Mhm.
and I saw there's an artist that is making little BioLizard like Beanie Baby plushes that they're going to have at Sonic Neon. I'm so excited to find one of those and pick one up.
Beanie Babies. I remember I used to have Beanie Babies.
I'll see if I can find the link or at least name drop them, because they deserve some recognition for this brilliant idea.
Because I can pretty much make the joke. He's such a baby.
Baby, you know.
Like that is adorable, but I'm not sure if you saw Frax when you saw Sonic Movie 3, there was a reference to the Bio Lizard
Was
in
that
the
the like the Godzilla movie or something like that?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I love how they actually like reference it that way because like they clearly show that the words that like he like Shadows like he takes the words to heart and he kind of gets like sad that like the scientists look at me like they're scared of me, and I'm like and it's like that's so relatable, because literally the bio lizard is also considered a monstrosity if anything. um but it's just but I think it's just really cool the way they like reference the bio lizard, you know, in a way where it just makes sense in the movie universe because it's pretty obvious that like, oh, okay, I guess the bio lizard was not made by Professor Gerald and he's in a movie, I
Yeah.
guess. So it's like an interesting twist.
Yeah, at this point, I think the movies have established that they kind of have their own canon, and I'm totally fine with it. Um,
Mhm.
I think we have a question from Dolius a little further up about. He said, "Have you been surprised to see Sonic merch show up at dollar stores?"
Oh,
Um, and I actually didn't know that there was Sonic merch at dollar stores, but that's pretty cool. Most of the merch stuff that I like track and follow and post about is online, partially because it's like difficult for me to get to physical stores for Sonic stuff.
mhm.
So it's always fun to hear about physical stores that end up picking up Sonic merch. I did not realize Dollar Store had them, but probably some good deals there if you can find a good Sonic merch.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, okay. I see a question by Tally Soundwave. What is your favorite fan-made merch that you ever bought? That's a good question.
Oh, that's such a good question. I got a little. I adopted a little plush handmade uh, Chow recently. I think it was from Sonic Revo or Sonic Expo, and he's the cutest little thing. I named him Zero uh,
Oh,
because because a lot of people who adopted the Chows from this booth were naming them after food items. I think there was like a jam and a soup, and I wanted to name him after a food item as well. So I grabbed my nearest can of Monster Ultra Zero, and I said that makes a good name. Because yeah, Monster didn't seem appropriate for him. He looks a little bit tired. He looks a little bit like Lanolin in the
uh,
IDW comics, and so I figured he needed an energy drink related name. That was a really fun pickup recently. Yeah.
yeah, like I love fan-made merchandise for Sonic. Like it's so vast. Like you can get like from like artists selling their like keychains, prints, like they get so creative. Like I've seen like fan-made stickers and I'm like, these are so lit. I think like my favorite like fan-made Sonic merch that I got was from Sonic Revolution and it was when Mimi Pion was
Oh.
an artist in the artist alley and she literally posted before I think like the week of like Sonic Revolution, the in-person convention. She's like, "Hey, I'm selling these Murder of Sonic like character charms." I'm like,
Mm.
easy. I was like, easy done. Okay. And I said, I'm gonna go to her booth and I'm gonna buy that. So I literally went to her booth before the convention started. I said, can I get the Sonic and Amy one? And she's like, sure. And it's like, I saw your post on Twitter. As soon as you said you're selling those, easy. Easy done. I'm gonna buy it. So
That's
So,
awesome. Yeah, I was gonna ask which characters you got because I'm like, there are so many good designs in that game. And Mimi's great. I love her Twitch thumbnails that she's always making for her streams. They're hilarious and cute.
yeah, absolutely. Like, I actually, before I actually got cute little Sonic mini backpacks, I actually had like, a limited edition Walt Disney World, 50th anniversary limited edition, like, Loungefly backpack with Mickey and friends, like, credit
Oh,
50th anniversary. And they did not have a matching wallet for that. So I literally bought like a Sonic and Amy wallet from Sega Mew, from a previous year of Sonic Revolution, and I just used that and I put it in my Disney backpack, and I'm like, okay, let's Sonicify this backpack. So I just put the um the Sonic and Amy keychains on it. I'm like, there, it's perfect because literally the backpack is like blue and gold. Um,
oh, perfect.
so like this is perfect. So and people literally complimented, "Oh, it's like I love your wallet." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." So, I got a lot of compliments about my Amy wallet because it has Sonic and Amy on the wallet. So,
Yeah. No, Sonic fans are absolutely amazing at like accessorizing and creating outfits, and not just outfits that are like literal Sonic merch, but like outfits that are clearly like character inspired or theme inspired.
Mhm.
And oh my gosh, like props to Sega for making events where people can actually like wear these things and show them off. There's
Mhm.
conventions. There's the Sonic Speed Cafe. I've seen so many cool outfits there, and the Sonic Symphony. People go nuts with their outfits there. But the creativity is awesome. People are so good at that.
Like, absolutely. Like, yeah, I've been to Speed Cafe like more than, I think more than 4 times now. Yeah. Because I went like last year because they literally had meet and greets with like special guests there. And they literally had like three of the Sonic IDW comic artists there.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I think on Friday, um, yeah, they had Shota and Jun Sonoe because the Sonic Symphony was there on that Saturday. I think they were performing on Saturday during San Diego Comic Con. Um,
Yeah.
So so I finally got to meet Shota and I told him who I was, and yeah, for those who don't know who are new here, I actually did a Q&A with Shota like last year in January of last year, and I told him my username is like, "Yeah, I remember. I enjoyed the interview you did with me." So got to meet him and Jin Sonoe, like both very nice guys. um Oh, okay. It looks like I see another question in the chat. Another question by Metal Sonic. Where would you say is the strangest place you ever found slash gotten a hold of a piece of merchandise at? That's a great question.
Yeah, okay. I have a story here, and it might be a little bit of a humble brag. I'm not sure, but they were filming the first Sonic movie. They were filming it up in Vancouver, and I live close enough to get there within a day. So when they were doing some of the filming, I took a trip up there with a friend, and it was being filmed in like the Green Hills town. So it was just an actual town that was fairly open to the public when they weren't doing the physical filming. And I think the scene that they were shooting that night was the final showdown with Eggman. And during that scene, a car blows up and it does like 3 flips in the air and like lands on the street or whatever. And it was obviously a very scary thing. Not scary, but like they only had so many cars they could use for that shot, right? Like they only had so many takes they could
Mm,
do. Um, so they shot the scene a couple of times, and it was really cool. And we got to watch it in person. That
mm,
was at night. The next morning, they hadn't cleaned up from that situation, so there was shattered glass and like car parts all over the street. And again, street totally open to the public. So I kind of just walked over there and I like scooped up a little bit of debris and put it in a little plastic bag. I took that home with me as a souvenir. So I would say the strangest piece of Sonic merch I have is like pieces from the car that exploded in the first Sonic movie. Um, so yeah, that was a fun little adventure, and it was wild to be like on the set and just see these locations in person. I have a lot of pictures. I'll probably post about them at some point.
Oh,
Yeah, it
wow.
was
Wow.
close as I could get without actually being an extra. So
Like the fact that you literally said, "Oh yeah, it's literally open to the public when they're not filming." It's
yeah,
like it's, that's gotta be wow. That's just something that's gonna be staying in your memory. Like when you get older, you're like, "I can't believe I
I
actually
was
got into
there.
movie." That's
Yeah, yeah.
great.
Because they had all the storefronts had like the fake storefront names for the movie, and all the cars, like the police car that says like Green Hills was there, just parked, and all the cars had like fake license plates and stuff too. So yeah, it was really cool to see the town all set up like that.
Nice. I see Melsong's comment. Yes, my favorite piece of Sonic merch, card debris.
You would like that, wouldn't you, Metal Sonic?
Oh my god. Ooh, okay. Wait.
I love the
Oh,
questions, by the way. Thank you, everyone in chat, for asking these. Like, this is super fun to do a Q&A this way.
yeah. I see another question by Salma Salsabila. Do you guys have any least favorite Sonic merch? Ooh.
It's an interesting question. I would say the biggest struggle for me is white T-shirts. I
Oh.
am one of those people whose closet is full of black T-shirts and almost nothing else. In my defense, it's the Year of Shadow, or it was the Year of Shadow, and black and red is a very sexy color combo. Um, but so I usually love getting Sonic shirts or hoodies or whatever when they're like darker colors. But every now and then, a piece of Sonic merch will come out that has the coolest design on it, but comes only on a white T-shirt. And then I really have to do some soul searching as to whether or not I need this T-shirt, whether or not I will be able to wear it with the rest of my wardrobe. So it's a huge dilemma. Massive problem in my life is the white T-shirts. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, like when you think about it, like yeah, white t-shirts, it's like they could easily get stained when you're eating anything, so I totally get it.
That too. That too. Yeah.
Yeah, like I only wear like white t-shirts unless if it's like really warm or hot, 'cause especially in the summer, because I don't really like wearing dark t-shirts in the summer because you're gonna be like sweating. Because at least like with white t-shirts, at least you cool down.
Yeah. Yeah. And I should also mention I live in the Pacific Northwest, so like it's cold here a lot. So black clothing is works pretty well here. Black clothing is not so great in places like Florida, California.
Yeah.
Heat up way too fast.
Yeah, like for sure. Ooh, okay. Um, okay, I don't see any other questions so far. But I'm very curious, when it comes to like what is like a Sonic merchandise in Japan that you are hoping to get a hold of, but not as of yet?
Oh man, I posted about this a while ago, but they recently came out with some Sonic themed blowtorches, like acetylene. Like I don't know how they work exactly, but they're like little blowtorches. Presumably, you can use them for like a campfire or like creme brulee or something like that. There's a Sonic one and a Shadow one. I really want them. They're a ridiculous piece of merchandise that I don't know why exists, but it is Sonic themed and it is from Japan, so I want it. Unsurprisingly, though, Japan does not want to ship acetylene torches overseas. So despite my my ability to order things from Japan, these ones will not ship. So I would love to own one of those someday, but I have no idea how I would get it here, either in a box or on a plane. I don't think either would be allowed.
Yeah, that's true. I think maybe that's why they don't allow it, probably because TSA rules, because there's like specific items that you're not allowed to like carry on, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So I totally get it. But I would say the meme of like Darth Vader's no, I can't get
Seriously. Yeah.
this. Oh, okay. I see another question in the chat. By Dari Foxy Star. I have a question. What was your first Sonic merchandise? For me, it was a classic Sonic plushie.
That's awesome. Yeah, classic plushie. I think mine. I alluded to this earlier in the chat, but I was a T-shirt. And I believe the T-shirt it had like classic Sonic with his head back laughing. For whatever reason, it was like Godfather themed. So it said, "Say hello to my fast little friend," and it had like the black and white bars on it, like the Godfather movie box art, and it had like red lettering, like the Godfather movie box art. And I was like, I don't really understand or care about the Godfather, but this shirt has Sonic on it, and therefore I need it. But no, that was my first piece of Sonic merch ever, and I was so excited about it. Yeah, back then there weren't quite as many Sonic T-shirts coming out, so I always got really excited when there was a new one that came out. I remember another one like from Hot Topic that was my favorite. It had like Sonic and Tails on it and some cool checkerboard pattern. But yeah, no, I was so proud of that T-shirt.
Yeah, like I remember back in the day, Hot Topic rarely had any Sonic. Like it took them a long while before they actually started selling Sonic merchandise at Hot Topic. And the I know there's some in the store, but I hate it when you have to like go online and order it, and I'm like the Darth Vader. No, why? I'm like, but I actually got a cute like Sonic and Friends like chibi like backpack that they sell online at Hot Topic. It's really cute. Like when I showed it to my mom, she's like, "Oh, that's so cute." It was like, and I actually put my keychains to it, my Sonic and Amy from that I bought from Mimi. she put it
Nice.
on, she put it on that. I was like, yeah, I need to because it's adorable. And what's cute is that you have the chibi Sonic head in the mini smaller pocket, and then you have like Tails, Knuckles, and Amy on like the left side, and then the right side is like Eggman, Shadow, and Rouge. um in chibi style, and it's super adorable. Um
See, once again, Sonic fans are just masters of accessorizing. I love it.
mhm, for sure. Oh, okay. Another question by Salma Salsabila. I had another question. Is there any weird or funny moment when you guys trying to hunt Sonic merchandise? Another great question.
That is a really great question. I mentioned earlier I don't get the chance to go to physical stores very often, and when I do, I'm usually with friends. And I remember we were visiting somewhere at one point, and there was a Burlington nearby, like the store Burlington. And I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are not going to believe this, but Burlington has so much Sonic merch. I see it all the time on Twitter. I think like Sonic Toy Hunter goes there a lot. And I'm like, man, if I ever go to a Burlington, I'm like, I got to check it out because there's so much Sonic stuff in there. And all of my friends were skeptical. And like, even when we walked in there, it looks kind of like a pretty ordinary store that wouldn't really have a lot of Sonic merch, but I like took them like on a tour through the aisles, and every aisle we walked down we found like another piece of Sonic merch. And by the end of it they were like, oh my god, you were right, how I never knew, like Burlington has like all the Sonic stuff. And it was just really fun going through the store with them, and like all of us running down the aisles and trying to find Sonic stuff in the luggage section, in the cups and mugs section, and like people would bring it back to me like, look what I found over here. It was really cool. It was very wholesome fun. But yeah, I've dragged my friends to a lot of places that they weren't aware were like Sonic merch havens.
Yeah, like yeah, yeah, I kind of feel like Burlington is kind of similar to Ross,
Yeah.
like something like that. I think it's kind of like I think it's like a department store, I think that's what it's labeled as, I think. So, because I remember I've been to Burlington and I'm like, wow, this kind of looks like a Ross, but it's like smaller. Um, but I think, yeah, like it's very surprising because, like, I think, the Sonic luggage is at Burlington, right? I believe
They've definitely had some Sonic luggage there.
that's of all things.
Yeah,
Um, but 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 very interesting.
yeah, it's a
Um,
good question.
yeah, oh yeah, here's my next question for you, Frax. Like, I'm very curious, if you were ever to do, I'm not sure, I don't think you've heard of this, content creator. I follow this content creator who goes by Uncaged Games, and he does, like, buying everything Mortal Kombat, um, type of stuff, and he always talks about how his wallet is taking a hit,
Mm-hmm.
because he's buying all this expensive stuff, and I'm like, would you at maybe in the future, would you be doing a buying everything Sonic? Like just going to like a lot of stores and checking to see if you can find Sonic merch as like an actual series?
And yeah, I haven't seen the specific content creator you mentioned, but like I can see the vision here. But I mean, something like that would be really fun. It would depend on like no, budget would definitely be the issue though, and that's why it is fun to be able to go into like stores and like pick up stuff and like show it to the camera. Like I can go through a store and I can find all the Sonic stuff and I can make a cute little video on like all the Sonic stuff I found and not actually physically have to buy it. So like until until I have 1 million subscribers on YouTube, I think most of my find all the Sonic stuff videos will be mostly me showing the Sonic stuff and not purchasing it. But boy, that would be fun to do like a supermarket sweep style, like get all the Sonic merch, put it all into one basket, make a cool thumbnail, and then like unbox it like all at once in a video. Oh, I think that'd be a fun dream.
Yeah. Like I've seen his videos and he like he even went to like conventions to find like buying everything Mortal Kombat, and he's like,
Mm-hmm.
"It's Mortal Kombat, we gotta buy it." like he literally just like, "Why did I do this to myself?"
Oh, yeah, and right, that's like an unfortunate uh trap that like some Sonic collectors have found themselves in, right? Like if you have to own every single piece, it can get tricky. It can get overwhelming. I think we mentioned earlier, right? Like back in the day, owning every piece of Sonic merch, there were only so many out there, right? But
Mhm,
now to like kind of keep up with every piece of Sonic merch that comes out, it is a difficult task. I know people that collect all of the comic books as well, and
mhm,
like the amount of like variants and collections and alternate covers that have come out for those, it's
mhm.
such there's such cool covers. It's such a cool comic series, but like trying to be a completionist for anything Sonic these days is so tricky. So I feel for the Mortal Kombat guy. I feel for the Sonic collectors that are completionists, but also mad respect for them because like it's difficult and impressive.
Absolutely. Like it's just very but like every time I see it, and and he always shows like the camera literally shows the price of how much he's paying every time
Yeah,
he goes
yeah.
to a store. Um But I actually got to meet the guy. Very, very nice. Like I just happened
Oh,
to run.
fun.
Yeah, I actually got to ask him about it, and I asked him but here's my question for you. What is the most expensive Sonic merchandise you ever purchased as of right now?
Oh, is that question for me or for is that what you asked him?
Yeah, I asked him, but I'm also asking you now this
Let's
question.
see. Yeah, I think I can say the item, but I don't think I can say the price.
Yeah, yeah, you could say
I
the
think
item.
about it as something. Um, let's see. I think it. I think it was the Sonic guitars. One of them in particular. Like I mentioned earlier that I'd found the Sonic Adventure guitars with like Sonic and Shadow on them, and I think the Shadow one was what I would consider a reasonable price for a guitar, and the Sonic one was not. However, it was a chance I had to acquire something very rare, and so I figured it was worth it. But I think that guitar was probably the most expensive, also because the shipping was insane on it. Weird
Oh.
shape, heavy object coming from Japan. Like, I'm grateful it made it here in one piece.
That's understandable. Yeah, because it's like you said, it's a weird shape, and they have to find the appropriate, like I guess, box to like
Yeah,
fit that specific shape of an item,
yeah, yeah.
so that's totally understandable why the shipping was very expensive. And you said it's from Japan too,
Hmm.
um, so yeah, that definitely adds into it. Oh, okay. I see questions in the chat. I see a question from Pink Axolotl, I guess. Do you ever accidentally make a new friend when trying to find Sonic merch? Ooh.
Oh my gosh, no, that's been the story of the last couple of years, ever since I've started this account. I've really been grateful and surprised and by how many Sonic fans have reached out to me, have said hi to me at conventions, have left nice comments on my account, or supported me in the stuff that I'm doing, or the giveaways, or the raffles, or just following me. I've met so many cool people and creators online and in person since starting this. So yeah, I don't know how accidental it is, because I think the people that have taken the time to be kind to me have done it deliberately and are awesome. But I've met so many cool people through doing this. So yeah, no, it happens very frequently, and with all these Sonic conventions happening too, the opportunities I get to meet people is so cool. It's nice being visible enough, and also having, I don't know, like a kind of an aesthetic or a brand, so that people can actually recognize me at conventions. And so I get to meet a lot of cool people that way. They're like, "Oh my god, you're Frack!" And I'm like, "Well, thank God I wore something that like is recognizable," so they knew who I was. But yeah, no, shout outs to the Sonic community for just being really welcoming to me throughout this whole process. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of figured that you would be making new friends, when you're like whether going to conventions or whether if you're like just happen to like go to a store looking for like Sonic merchandise. Um like I kind of figured that was the case. Ooh, okay. Okay, so Metal Sonic has another question. Oh, I got a good one. Favorite piece of Metal Sonic merch in your collection? And they said theirs is Jazzware's 10-inch figure of him.
These are good questions, Metal. Thank you. No, I actually was going to bring up the Jazzwares 10-inch, because I do have one of those, and uh, it's one of the largest figurines I've ever had, and it's also Metal Sonic, and they made him look really good. So yeah, I'm curious about your fun story that you mentioned there for yours. I also want to give a shout out to there are some like squishy Sonic toys. I posted about them sometime on my account, but they like come from Italy or something crazy like that. But they're called like Super Magic Squishies, and they're little chibi like stress ball type squishable Sonic characters. There's a Metal Sonic one in that series, and for whatever reason, they decided to give him heart eyes instead of like angry eyes or something like that. And I don't know why they did it, but it's the funniest thing, and it's really cute. So I really enjoy that piece of Metal Sonic merchandise as well.
Wow, very interesting. Oh, okay. I see another question by Kevin. My next question, if you could make any piece of Sonic merch, what would it be? Oh.
Wow. It's interesting because I can think of this question in two ways. Like, what is something I could like physically make and then have as like a cool collectible? Or what is something I could make that could be like mass produced that everyone could buy? But I so badly want like those giant Sonic statues that show up at like events and stuff like that. That like Sega has in their offices. I know there's like the Sonic one. There's a Shadow and a Silver, I think, from when they were advertising Sonic 06. There's that really disturbed looking Tails one that they have. I don't know if people have seen that, but I think he's like really old school classic Sonic style. He's got a really funny shaped head. It's great. But I would love the opportunity to either like build or make some sort of like cool Sonic statue, or like a Sonic mascot costume or outfit as well. Like, I think it'd be really cool to own something like that looks like professionally made, and is not just. I do like the Spirit Halloween costumes in their own way, but I think it'd be so cool to have kind of bigger, more elaborate Halloween costumes available that give Sonic kind of like better proportions, give the characters better proportions. So I rambled a little bit because I wasn't 100% sure of my answer when I started that, but doing like a lineup of like cosplay stuff or mascot suit stuff, I think would be really cool. I've been in the cosplay scene for a really long time, and it'd be really cool to have more options there and get to run around as my favorite Sonic character. Plus, they only make a lot of the Halloween costumes are only like kids sizes these days too, so it'd be cool to have some full sized ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of whenever I look at the actual official like costumes that they make, it's usually for kids.
Yeah.
And stuff. Ooh, okay. Someone asks, Matthew Perla asks, do you play the guitar often?
No, I haven't in a while. I would love to learn fully someday to do those Sonic guitars justice. But I did a little bit in college, but I am no longer skilled enough to play the guitar. So short answer is no, but I want to. I'd love to learn the drums as well. Shout outs to the Sonic music community for having just the coolest music and enthusiasm for music. That's a huge inspiration for me in wanting to get into it someday. But strangely, I have not had a lot of time. But yeah, maybe someday.
That's understandable. Ooh, okay. Here is the next question another question by Salma Salsabila. What is the most attractive Sonic character for you guys? Interesting question.
It is an interesting question. Let's see. I mean, I like Espio. I think he's handsome. I think he's pretty professional. Especially when you put him next to Vector and Charmy, who are kind of spazzes. I love them dearly, but they are spazzes, and so it does highlight the fact that Espio is a calm and collected character. I also like Blaze a lot. I think I seem to be drawn to characters that are purple and are calm under pressure, and I think they both fit the bill there. So they're both. I like them both.
That's understandable. Yeah, like SBO is like very underrated. You know, like he doesn't get that much like he like you could say he doesn't get that much like love, you know, as like the main characters do. Um but it's really cool that you love SBO as a character, you know.
I like reptile characters. It was really fun when Sega was like, "We're gonna make lizards now." I'm like, "Hell yeah!" Like we got a crocodile, a chameleon, and a bee all at once, and that was really cool. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Like um I'm not sure did you go to the Revo in person last year, Frax?
I did. Yeah,
Did you happen like I had like a friend of mine actually cosplay as SBO. I'm not sure if you saw him.
was this the cosplay contest, or am I thinking of Expo?
No, no, it was at Revo. One of my very good buddies actually cosplayed as SBO at Sonic Revolution last year.
Man, I don't know if I saw him, but I wish I had, because like, mad respect to anyone who's cosplaying as SVO.
Because I was like, he was the only one cosplaying as SBO, so I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, this is rare.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And I literally told my BFF Doom the Meme Queen because she is a huge Chaotix fan, and I told her, come here, and she's like, why? My very good buddy here is actually dressed as cosplaying as SBO. She's like, oh, she got like very happy. It was like, because it's so rare. Like I rarely see SBO cosplayers. It's like it's like a needle in a haystack. Like most people are either like Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Shadow. Um, I saw like like I think the one that made me laugh during the cosplay contest last year for Revo was literally there was like a Maria cosplayer and she just did the Sonic death pose from Murder of Sonic, and then you see the three shadows like no, like the three
Oh my
shadows.
god.
I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, I see what you did there. Um, so I found that very hilarious. So because since you mentioned, as I said, since you love SBO, I'm like, oh wait, I had a friend that cosplayed as SBO.
Do you know if they're going to any of the conventions coming up this year? Because I would love to see them.
I'm not sure. Like, because I know he's busy with college, so I only like talk to him.
Understandable.
I only talked to him once in a while, but I did not. He never told me he was gonna cosplay, so I didn't even know. So when like because I was helping the staff, and he never DM'd me. Like he said he was coming, but he didn't tell me he was like cosplaying. So and then when he found me at the convention, I'm like, oh, hey," and I said, you didn't even tell me you were cosplaying. um,
But
but
yeah,
yeah.
I'll keep an eye out for sure. I mean, if there are SPO cosplayers out there, I would love to see them.
For sure. Ooh, okay. I know I just saw a question here. Or maybe I might wait, where's that question? Oh, okay, here it is. Another question by Pink Axolotl. All right, for my next question is, what's your rarest Sonic merch? I believe, didn't you answer this or?
I might not have, and it is a tough question to ask because, like, to me, the when we think of rarest, right, it's like one of a kind, right, and that is my favorite type of merch to find or acquire is the like one of a kind stuff, and usually what makes something one of a kind is like getting it signed by somebody or getting artwork from somebody. on it. So I think a lot of the I've gotten some comic commissions, I've gotten some artwork commissions from a lot of the artists that are either in the Sonic fandom or that work on the IDW comics. I treasure those very much. And I've tried to get a lot of stuff, signed by people at events. And I try to be I try to find unusual or rare things to get signed at the events as well.
Mhm.
I think I have a Shadow the Hedgehog tapestry kind of like wall scroll, right? I think it came with the Shadow collectors Sonic X Shadow collector's edition from Japan. Very long title. But there was one of the conventions, I forget, I think it was Expo, maybe. There were 4 of the Shadow voice actors there. And I was like, oh my god, like golden opportunity here. I'm going to try to get this signed by all 4 of them, and then I'll just have Keanu to track down someday. So still waiting on getting that signed by Keanu Reeves, but that would be a dream piece to own someday.
Yeah. Like, especially because, like, celebrity actors, like, autographs are, like, timeless, and it's something you can cherish, especially. Um, so so I find it very, very interesting, because Keanu Reeves, like, I think when I think before I went to watch Sonic movie 3 last year, they had an ad on TV because my mom was like watching TV, and then my parents saw the advertisement, and then they saw Keanu Reeves' name, and they're like, Keanu Reeves is in this movie?
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah. And I said, yeah, he voiced Shadow, the one that's like black and has like red stripes. And they're like, oh, I was like, that's what I told my parents.
It's
Ooh.
you mentioned it earlier with your Loungefly bag, but that's one of my favorite things is like watching non-Sonic fans suddenly get excited about a piece of Sonic merch that they've seen. Like
Mhm.
the merch is so cool that it doesn't matter what fandom it comes from, it just looks nice and they get excited about it. That's such a cool thing to kind of like draw people into the Sonic universe by showing them cool stuff.
Mhm. Like, absolutely. Like, I think, like, so my, like, so my I think I got, like, introduced to Sonic by, like, I think when I was, like, in 5th grade, and then, like, my friend was, like, telling me all about it, and I've told people this, that my introduction to Sonic was, like, literally Sonic X. Um, and it already showed me, like, the characters', like, personalities and dynamics, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." I was like "Okay, Sonic is the hero, and he's cocky and arrogant and always likes to tease Eggman, and toy with him. Eggman's like the evil genius who has he has, like, an entire robot army." And Tails, he's like the genius, and his, like, little brother, kinda like a little brother. And then we have, like, Cream, who's this sweet, innocent little girl who has a cute little child friend, Cheese. Like, it kinda introduced me to the characters' dynamics.
Yeah, no, I definitely grew up on Sonic X as well, and like the things that develop the personality of the characters is one of my favorite things. Especially, I love these characters so much, and so any insights I have into their lives, into their personalities, into their character development, I'm always grateful when we get the chance to learn more about them.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, this one's an interesting question I see in the chat by another question by Matthew Perla. Do you see yourself not collecting anytime in the future? What?
That's a really fun, yeah, that's a really fun question, and I think the answer is probably no, because I have seen my future. My dad is one of the biggest collectors of stuff I know. still to this day. He still gets excited about Pokemon cards. He still gets excited about rare coins. And I'm like, you know what? I think it's just in my blood to be a collector and enjoy that experience, regardless of age. So like, yeah, he's the coolest, and he's always like gotten excited along with me about collecting stuff and about characters like Sonic and Pokemon. So yeah, I think I'll be doing this well into the future. Will it always be Sonic related? Who knows? But I think I just get a lot of enjoyment out of having nice little collections, nicely organized and complete sets.
Nice. Well, that's gonna be really cool, to have a dad like that who just like still collects Pokemon cards. Because I know Pokemon cards, if you get like the very rare ones, you can get a lot of money if you sell them, because they're very rare, you know.
Yeah, it's wild too that they've kept making Pokemon cards all this time, right? Like it's one thing if they, it's a thing for like 3 years and then the fad dies out, but they just don't stop. There's Pokemon content all day, every day.
Mm-hmm. Like absolutely. I think what really propelled Pokemon is the Pokemon anime. I think that's
Yeah,
really what made it like, explode. Because remember, like Pokemon was first started on the Game Boy Color. It was just on that, and then they actually like Japan decided to make an actual anime where it's like, hey, we get to go on this journey with Ash. And yeah, he was still 10 years old for like 20 plus years
yeah, yeah.
until they actually changed the protagonist. And apparently, in the new season of Pokemon Horizons, they actually do a time skip. I'm like, where was this time skip when Ash was the protagonist? Like,
Right.
I'm just like, this is so weird. Like, I'm just like, okay, so the new protagonist, you decide to give them where they actually age and actually grow older, but Ash, you never did that for 20 plus years. How does that work? Like, it's just crazy, So, but yeah, it's like you said, still making Pokemon cards is crazy nowadays because like I outgrew Pokemon because I used to love Pokemon when I was younger, but then I like outgrew it. um, but yeah.
It's tough to
Ooh.
keep up with too, right? Like when you have a series that just keeps going nonstop like that, at a certain point you're like, I can't keep up with this anymore. I gotta tap out. So I don't collect Pokemon cards quite as much anymore, but I mostly enjoy them now for the art because they've been
Mm.
going hard on the artwork for those Pokemon cards nowadays, and I love just like walking into a card store and be like, oh, I want like just this card. You can spend like $3 and get like a really cool piece of artwork. It's still accessible to people, and I love that.
Mm. Oh, okay. I see another question by Metal Sonic. What's the character you have the least amount of merch for?
It's a good question. I think it's going to be, yeah, probably Tangle and Sticks. I know that Tangle has had like a plush, and then Tangle had some bag clips at Comic Con last year, I think. And I think those are the two pieces of Tangle merch I own. She's
Mm.
all over the comics, but I don't know if those are like merch necessarily. Um, and then Sticks, I don't even know what her situation is with like figures, if there are any really.
Mm.
I certainly don't have any. But I think the only Sticks stuff I have is like the video games with her in it, and then um, somebody on Twitter turned me on to the fact that there were like house keys, a Sonic Boom themed house keys that exist, and those had Sticks on them, and I picked up a set, and I'm like, oh my god, like more Sticks merchandise in my life. This is a great time to be alive. I think it was Spirit. Yeah, Speed Spirit, the Speed Spirit. Shout outs to them for helping me find some cool Sonic merch. But Yeah, I miss sticks. I saw I saw we got Marine back briefly in the Sonic Speed Simulator game, so I'm hoping we'll get some more sticks love in the future.
Yeah. Because I know Styx was like, introduced in the Boom part of the franchise, so it's like um I think what's really cool for those who don't know, if you went to Comic-Con, I think 2014, when they were promoting the, I think, Rise of Lyric, and I think it was in Petco Park, they were actually giving away Sonic Boom, those Comic-Con bags, Fracks? Those big ones that you can have on.
Yeah.
They actually had one of, like, Sonic Boom, um, and stuff, so you can actually, like yeah, they actually gave those away, and I actually got, like, one. I'm like,
Oh,
"Yo."
nice.
Yeah, it's really cool that they actually made the effort to actually make those Comic-Con bags and just give it out for free to, like, people that were just walking by in, like, Petco Park, so, like, "Oh, that's cool."
That is nice. Yeah, I think didn't they have some like little statues that they brought around to conventions as well? I wonder whatever happened to those. Um,
Yeah, yeah, I think they had, like, Boom Sonic statue at the one during Comic-Con. Um, I I'm trying to remember. I think I might have to, like, look back at my photos to see what the statue looked like. I know there was, like, a statue because they had, like, a playable demo, um, and they said, "Hey, do you want a free bag?" I'm like, "Sure." It has the Boom Gang on there, let's get it. Um, so that's a fun fact for you, audience, in case if you didn't know, like, when they were promoting Rise of Lyric at during that year during Comic-Con, they were actually giving away, like, actual customized, like, bags that were, like, Comic-Con and stuff. Ooh. Okay, so Metal Sonic actually says, "I know that Styx has a couple of Tomy figures. Really interesting one that one of her few pieces of merch is a house key."
yeah, it's weird to me that any Sonic merch is a house key. I would not have expected that crossover, but here we are.
Yeah, like because normally the most Sonic merch wouldn't even be making a house key, for like
Yeah,
Sonic, but the Mad Lads did it anyways.
yeah, yeah.
Ooh, okay. Wait. Okay, here's the next question in the chat by Salma Salsabila. What is the smallest merch you have? Ooh.
Oh, that's an interesting question. These are great questions, by the way. Thank you everyone in chat who's asking these. Um, let's see. I will go off on a tangent real quick because I'm still trying to think of what that would be for me. But I know there is a little figurine they advertise as like the world's smallest Sonic figurine, and I know there's like multiple figurines that are smaller than it. So I always think it's funny when I get like I see on Amazon like world's smallest Sonic, and I'm like, you got to change your brand name. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. But no, I think it would be there are these tiny little. I think they're Jazzwares. Sorry, I'm googling. They're like these little Jazzwares flocked Sonic figures. They're like the size of board game pieces almost. And I think there's like a Sonic, a Shadow, and like Tails and Amy or something like that. And they're the cutest little things. And they're definitely small. They're smaller than 1 inch. Yeah, I might come back to you with the name of that because I think those are the smallest figures I have, and they're really cute. But the name is escaping me right now.
Gotcha.
Oh, I found them already. Here we go. Sonic, Shadow, Knuckles, and Amy. Sonic Jazzwares special flocked figures. Yes.
Ooh.
Check those out. They're really cute, but they're a little weird because they're fuzzy. So like, it's a strange piece of merchandise to make for these guys. but they are really, really cute in this like tiny, tiny chibi form.
Mm. Gotcha. Oh, okay. My next question for you, Prax, is like, if you were to suggest any Sonic merchandise to Sega themselves, what type of new merchandise would you recommend or suggest to them?
Oh, it's funny because I feel like I've had the opportunity multiple times. I think the last I think the last time I talked to them, I said, "Can you please make shoes that come in adult sizes?" Because I know that Puma recently had Puma and Adidas had these big releases of Sonic themed shoes. Um, and I think they made Sonic and Knuckles in adult sizes, and Tails was toddler sizes only. I'm like, well,
Ooh.
come on, I want to rep my boy. So I have actually in person said, oh man, I really wish like those had come in adult sizes too, and like I wish that like when shoes come out, they would come in adult sizes as well. Um, so I think that is probably true for a lot of other Sonic merchandise as well. The kids are getting so many cool Sonic designs that I think a lot of adults would be interested in. There's hats, there's shirts. I think there's a whole like H&M, the clothing chain or the department store. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but they come out with Sonic stuff all the time, but it's always kid sizes. And I'm like, oh my God, like I want to talk about these designs. I want to wear these designs, but it is just a kids section here. So yeah, I would say just like, yeah, I would love to see more of the stuff that we're making kid sizes and maybe experiment with a handful of them in adult sizes and see if they take off.
Yeah, like it's kind of like, man, you kind of wish you're a kid again because like, how come the kids get the nice stuff?
Yeah.
Like especially the shoes, because I feel bad for like the adult fans that want to wear the shoes, but it was like only for kids at the time, and you're like, "Where's the adults?" I'm just like, you do realize Sonic is like multi-age. It's like for everyone. So please be sure that you cater to the other demographic, if
I,
anything.
I want my light up shoes. I want my Heelys. I'm going to the Sonic Symphony. I have to look good, you know?
Of course. Ooh. Ooh, this was an interesting question in the chat by Matthew Perla. Another question from them. If you could If you could only save one piece of merch you own from some natural disaster, what would it be? Ooh.
God, that one hurts, right? Because now I'm thinking about like losing all my stuff. It's tough. Let's see. I'd like to hope that it means. Let's just assume I could teleport it away, like because there's some stuff that's really large that would be more difficult to get out of the house. But let's see, those guitars would be high on the list. I'm looking around. I'm looking around my room right now. The original art stuff's really meaningful to me too. Like if I could grab a bin, one of my comic book bins, with like the original artwork in it, I think that'd be a big one too. Because I think almost every piece of merch that exists is something that could potentially be replaced, but like original artwork or anything like stuff that's like hand painted, that is truly one of a kind and can't be replicated. So I think I'd probably pick something that was made for me or drawn for me, although it would be absolutely tragic to have to pick which one. So yeah, I'm hoping that question will remain hypothetical.
Yeah, like because that's tough because especially if you because as you said, you mentioned earlier, the sonic guitar is rare. It's like, no, it's like I don't want to lose that.
Mhm.
um Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. This is another interesting question by Metal Sonic. Since
Yep.
we were on the topic of size merchandise just a few minutes ago, what's your largest piece of merchandise and how hard was it to get inside your home?
Great question, and I know the answer because I had to stare at it while I was looking around my room for things to save. There was an art exhibit, I think in the UK or somewhere in Europe, for the 25th anniversary, where they did a bunch of really cool art pieces for Sonic's 25th. There were a bunch of like professional artists that did museum exhibits featuring Sonic. And for some of these, they made prints or replicas of them, and in like a limited number or something like that. And I've got one of those. I forget the artist's name, but it's basically Sonic's face, but made with like dripping paint. So the paint from his face is like dripping down, and it's like half creepy, half cool. Um, but it is an extremely large canvas, and it had to ship here from Europe, and took forever to figure out how to get it here in the first place. And it had to go to like a specific post office because it was so large. When I went to pick it up, I realized that the canvas in a box was bigger than my car or wider than my car, right? I could not fit it in my car. So I spent a half hour in the parking lot removing the painting from its box, which was full of thousands of packing peanuts and styrofoam and all sorts of stuff like that. I spent like a half hour in the parking lot just like opening it, removing as much packaging as I could so that I could fit this thing in my car, even diagonally. And what that meant is that my entire passenger front seat and the entire mid passenger seats were full of packing peanuts. My car was literally like flooded with packing peanuts. I got it home safely. It's displayed in my room. It's one of the coolest things I own, and I hope to show it off on my Twitter someday. But I am still finding packing peanuts in my car to this day. So, yeah, no, that one was crazy. Trying to figure out A, how to get it to the US, and B, how to get it home from the post office.
Wow. Wow, and like the fact that literally it went to the extent where you literally had to just open it right then and there in the parking lot just so you can like take and put all the packing peanuts in the back. Oh my
Yeah,
God. I'm wondering how long did that take to like clear all those packing peanuts when you got home?
yeah, seriously. And like I was wondering if the postal workers could see me in the parking lot, like through the window. I was like, what? They must think I'm insane. Doing my best, guys.
Well, you didn't really have much of a choice, because it's like, wow, this thing's a lot bigger than I anticipated, and you kind of had to like problem solve it. It's like, well, it's gonna be covered in like packing peanuts
I,
in
I
order for.
couldn't I couldn't handle the shame of like walking back in there with the package and saying like, actually, can you hold on to this for a few more days while I go find a bigger car? Like that, I was like, I got to figure this out like today.
Yeah, absolutely. Like because I can't even imagine like but I'm very curious, how long did it take for you to clear all those packing peanuts in the back?
It is bold of you to assume that they were ever fully cleared from the car. I think that half of them are still in there. No. No, there's definitely still some in there. But yeah, no, it probably took me another half hour just to get the peanuts out of there because I couldn't vacuum them out.
Mhm.
And like, there wasn't really a good way to scoop them out. I tried like some bins and some like. Anyway, yeah, so it was basically just handfuls being swept into a box and then it took a while, yeah.
Oh, ooh, okay. Um, okay. So, it's so funny. Middle songs like comment. Packing peanuts, the collector's version of glitter. Once it's there, you're stuck with it.
Oh boy, yeah, and if that stuff gets wet too, oh, it's the worst thing.
Mhm. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Because I can just like imagine how huge that box was and then just like takes like 30 minutes to get all those packing peanuts and put it in the back.
I mean, props to the person that packed it. It got here safely. So like whatever they did to pack it did the job, but
Mhm.
created a new puzzle once it arrived.
It's just very, very phenomenal that you problem solved that, and being able to like, okay, I'm gonna have to take it out of the box, but just fill up my car with packing peanuts and
Mm-hmm,
it,
mm-hmm.
the actual painting and because yeah, with paintings you've got to be very delicate with them. You don't ever want to damage it in any way, so
Yeah.
because coming from the artist side of me, I've been to like art galleries and I see how much effort is put into it, especially paintings. It's like, yeah, you don't want those ruined or anything. Um, but yeah, it's just so crazy. That's like the probably the wildest story other than you like picking up some debris from that like filming site movie. Like, I am like shocked, you know. But but I have to say your stories are just so intriguing to listen to, Frax.
When I have my sights set on a thing, I can do some crazy things to like get it safely here. So, yeah.
Ooh, okay. I see another question by Salma. Do you, or I guess they're asking, have you ever accidentally broke your merch? I would hope not. um,
Yeah. Well, thankfully, nothing like too big or irreplaceable. But I've definitely had a couple of situations where like I went to a convention or traveled, right, and I have limited space in my suitcase, so I have to either a really pack stuff tightly in there or like fish out some sort of alternative bag and then make that my checked bag going home.
mhm,
So doing that, I've definitely had some like smaller, more fragile things break. I think there's the it's called like the Palverse Palais figure. It's Sonic the Hedgehog standing on like a little like a bottle of paint with like a painter's wheel below him. Really cute figures. They made one for Shadow the Hedgehog recently as well. That thing showed up in pieces when I finally opened my bag when I got home. Thankfully, it
oh,
was like replaceable, but I try really, really hard to get my stuff home safely. But I think the main times where it fails is where I have to like just pack things too tightly. So
mhm,
I've learned a little bit from that. Uh, um,
mhm.
and then I've got a couple of I think a couple of the Jack specific figures that have fallen apart over the years. I had one of those. Is it Lancelot or Galahad? Shadow the Hedgehog in the Black Knight game figures. Those are super rare now. Like I got it at a Toys R Us when it was just coming out, so it didn't seem like anything at the time. But he's definitely fallen apart over time. So every now and then I will find like the sword or the visor or one of his arms in one of my boxes or storage or something like that. So I'm slowly reassembling him. I'm confident I have all the pieces somewhere, but right now he's only like half put back together until I find the other pieces. So
Oh, but oh my gosh, that yeah, that's Shadow. Lancelot, if you were saying Lancelot, yeah, that's Shadow. Oh
okay, yeah.
no, he fell apart. Um, but I think it's just very, very interesting, because I think, those aren't like, I believe those are Jack's wear, right? The the Black Knight ones?
Oh yeah, they might be. I get Jacks and Jazzwares mixed up all the time, so it's probably one of those, but I don't super remember which.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I kind of noticed those ones tend to like come off a little bit easier. So maybe that's why it came off like very easily or something. Ooh. Oh my gosh, Salma literally put that shadow figure. Is it time to meet Maria?
No, rip. Are we getting Maria figures anytime soon? What's going on with that?
Yeah, because I haven't seen any Maria figures. I think the only one, I think if I remember correctly, didn't they like recently reveal with Shadow and Maria as Lego, I think? Or did I just
Ooh.
drink that up? Wait, did it?
Didn't you have a little photograph of him and Maria in some Lego set? I don't know if there's a Maria Lego out there though. That'd be funny. I suppose you could make one from existing Lego pieces too.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I was probably just imagining it. Um, oh, okay. So Metal Sonic says Shadow and Maria were in a little photo in the Egg Drillster playset. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. I guess I wasn't imagining it then. um, but I'm very curious, Frax. Like have you collected the Lego play sets for Sonic?
So yeah, short answer is yes. Longer answer is I usually wait a while to pick them up because they usually go on discount pretty heavily after a while. But I had forgotten that Lego sets get retired after a certain amount of time.
Mm.
So now I have been like, oh my god, I have to remember to get these before they get retired. Because if you buy them like 3 months before they get retired, they're like 30% off. But if you wait too long, you will have to find them on eBay where they are more expensive. So yes, I started out collecting them casually, but now I'm making much more of a point to get all of them while I can. Um,
Mm. That's understandable, yeah, because it's kind of like, oh yeah, I better go get these before I have to go search for them on eBay because you're going to be charged a lot more. um,
No, yeah, it's funny how much of this collecting adventure has introduced me to like different fandoms and different product categories and stuff like that, right? Like I'm still learning what the Lego retirement schedule is, and I learn stuff about Jack's Pacific waves of figures every day. Like there's so much to learn depending on what type of merch you're looking at. It's crazy.
like absolutely, like because you never know, because probably in the future they probably might be rare too. As you said, if you wait too long, then you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to like scour like eBay or something to see if I can get it there. You know, um, but it's just so interesting that But I'm very curious, like, what was like your reaction when they actually introduced Lego Sonic to Lego Dimensions?
That was the yeah. I remember that. I haven't actually played that, but I love the humor of the Lego games in general, and I think they came out with some really like funny and clever advertisements with the Sonic Legos when they were doing that collaboration. So I thought it was a really good fit, right? Like you get Sonic's kind of strange humor with Lego Dimensions kind of strange humor, and it looked really fun. I have not touched any of the Lego series, Lego Dimensions games though, so I haven't experienced that personally, but I probably should.
I find it so interesting because we all know the Lego um template, for like
Hmm.
characters. So like seeing Sonic and the others in that style is just so interesting because like they have the square-ish like
Hmm.
rectangular body, and then their shoes are not even big because like it's in the style of like the Lego. I was like, this is
Yeah.
so interesting, but it's like it looked like it took me a while to get used to it because it's like I'm like because we're so used to Sonic and the other characters' feet to be big, but it's like they're so small and Lego. um, so that kind of threw me for a loop when I saw that, and you could say this is like I'm hoping someday in the future that Sonic would finally cross over with Scooby Doo. I'm like, hey, this is kind of a
Hmm.
good compromise because Scooby Doo is in Lego Dimensions. So I'm kind of like, okay. I was like, if I see Sonic interacting with Shaggy and Scooby, that'll make me happy.
That'd be
You know?
wild. Yeah. I mean, we got Batman this year, so anything's possible, really.
Yeah, for sure. Like because like it could be a possibility because like DC is under Warner Brothers, so it could be a possibility in the future.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I'm very curious, like, what was your initial thoughts when they unveiled the Sonic X DC comic collab? Like, what was your reaction to that?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize. I think it was real at first, or at least I didn't think it was going to be anything more than just like a little short or like a little animated like teaser or something like that. But they really went through with like making a whole comic series off of it, and I just think it's awesome from an exposure standpoint. Like DC is a big franchise. It's a big deal to a lot of people, and getting Sonic in the mix with that is going to introduce a lot of people to Sonic. I personally don't know anything about the DC universe, so I guess I'm going to learn some things too. But mostly, I was just like really happy and really proud of Sonic, the community team, the Sonic and Sega team for like making a collaboration like that happen. Like
Mhm.
totally wild to me that we'd ever see a crossover like that.
Yeah, like absolutely. Because like you probably see it in like, Sonic fan art if they're like dressed as the DC characters, and then you kind of get
Yeah.
confirmation that yeah, Sonic would be the Flash, Amy would be Wonder Woman, Knuckles would be Superman, Shadow would be Batman, Silver will be Green Lantern, and Tails would be Cyborg. So it's kind of like they kind of confirm, oh yeah, this is the counterparts to each of the Justice League, and I found that super interesting that they did something like that because one of my friends, he is a huge DC fan, and I told him watch watch the new recent Sonic one, the one that in I think Sonic Central was where they announced it, where I told
Hmm.
him watch it, and then he's like, "Oh my gosh!" And I said, "The Mad Lads have done it. They made it
Yeah. Yeah.
releasing a Sonic X DC comic collab," and he's a huge DC fan, so I go to him if I don't understand like any DC characters, like especially if it's one I'm not too familiar with, but I'm familiar with the Justice League. I know the mains. I was like, okay. I was like, I know them. So, but I go to him. I go to my friend who knows a lot of DC, and I ask him, "Oh yeah, can you tell me about this character?" Then he'll tell me. um, but it's just crazy. Like I'm. Oh yeah, here's another question I have for you, Frax. Which other franchise would you love to see in the future that the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise would be like? Would you love to see do a crossover?
Oh wow. That's a good question. God, Pokemon would be so cool. Those have been two of my favorite franchises for such a long time. You know, they teased kind of like their collaboration with Hello Kitty this week too. I'd love to see more of that. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Pokemon would be top of my list for sure. Because like not only do I like Pokemon, but there's so much. I love when people cross a character into the Pokemon universe and then they like build that character's team. So like we would get to see like what Pokemon Sonic would have on his team or what Pokemon Shadow would have on his team. I think that would be just a really fun exercise for all the creative people at Sega and all the like creative fans too, like picking their teams for the Sonic characters. I mean, there's probably tons of fan art out there right now like that, but like having an official collaboration, having merch associated with it, that'd be awesome.
Ooh, can you imagine Sonic and the others just throwing a Pokeball and like capturing Pokemon with a
It'd be
Pokeball?
weird. It'd be weird because these characters look pretty much like they do in a lot of ways. So like,
Yeah, because I would say the closest Pokemon to Sonic, Shadow, Silver, and Amy is Shaman, because that's a hedgehog.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you know what Shaman looks like.
Yeah, and it has like a reindeer form or something as well, right?
Yeah. Because when I look at Shaman, I'm like, oh, it's a hedgehog. And I'm like, what? When I see it as a sky form, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. But I find it super interesting that yeah, it would be very interesting to see like Nintendo and Sega actually do like another like crossover but a different IP. It's like Pokemon is definitely a good contender.
I will say too, yeah, now that you bring up Nintendo, the Olympic Games collaborations were so much fun. It was kind of another great crossover of like sports and Sonic and Mario, all things I enjoy. And it had a really competitive aspect to it as well with all the like online leaderboards and stuff. So I had a lot of fun with that. I would love it if they did more like Sonic with some other characters doing some other activity. Like bring I don't know, Sonic X Mario Party or something. Like kind of like they did with the mini games in the Black Knight and stuff, like or Sonic Shuffle. There's some crossover potential there for sure.
Like just imagine you just have literally a party, but you have like Sonic and friends just joining on that and they're hitting the dice.
Yeah.
And then they just do all these like outlandish, like weird mini games immediately. I mean, like, oh, this is hilarious. Yeah, that would be interesting. Because I know Mario Party was like, I don't know if it's still popular to this day. Because I heard like it kind of went downhill, with Mario Party. Because I think they were like trying to innovate on new ideas, and then I guess it just didn't click with players. I guess, or something like that.
I think I enjoy Mario Party but I never really have a preference on which one we play. So like as long as somebody has a version of Mario Party, I'm all down to play it. Do I need to have 10 of them? Not necessarily, but I think it's one of the few games that is like super easy to just pick up and play with a group of friends with like no introduction needed, you know. So they have that going well for them. But yeah, they keep making them, so they must be doing something right.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, okay. I'm very curious, Frax. Do you have like the Sonic Prime figures? I'm very curious.
Oh yeah, I have a handful of those. Those are super nice. I really like the design on them. The 5-inch. I think we're talking about the 5-inch figures, right? Like they looked really cool. And I really liked the style, the Sonic Prime style on Sonic figures. I don't have a ton of Knuckles figures. I don't have a ton of Rouge figures, but like when I saw the Knuckles Prime figure, I'm like, that is such a cool looking design. I want that. So yeah, I picked up a lot of them. Um, I love Tails 9. I wish they had made. I wish they had made a 5-inch of Sails, because that was my favorite name of like all the alternate characters was Sails for Tails. I thought it was ridiculous. But no, yeah, I really like those figures a lot. The Metal Sonic designs were also really cool. I'm probably saying the wrong names, but the Metal Sonic equivalent for Prime, whatever his name was.
Oh, Chaos Sonic.
Yeah, there it is. Thank you.
Yeah. Um, it's so interesting with those Prime ones, and like when I saw those figures, I'm like, hey, I was like, pretty sure people will get these because they're pretty nice. I like their alternate versions. Like I think my favorite Amy variation has to be Thorn, because I
Okay,
like
yeah,
like she looks vastly different. Like it's not like her usual quills is down, like her hair, like, well, I don't know, I guess her quills are like tied, and I'm like, I love this. And and she has like a really huge birdie. Like
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like I was like, the pink flicky bird is huge. I was like, oh my gosh, it had a growth spurt. I didn't know flickies could grow that huge, or look like that. But yeah, I think I love the Prime alternates. But which alternate figures are you like missing? I'm curious.
Well, it's mostly the Eggman variants, but I usually don't collect those. No offense, Eggman.
Oh no, no, you're all good. I think the one that we all hate is like Dr. Babel.
Yeah, it was like a Doctor Deep, and I'm like, I don't mind them like taking some liberties with the Eggman characters or whatever. I just like they weren't my favorite characters in the show. That's all.
Because it makes me wonder if like I wonder how Eggman, like the main Eggman, would like react to like seeing like a baby version of himself. It makes me wonder how he would react, because like
Yeah,
Sonic only had to deal with Eggman, but then he deals with the Eggman Council, and then he's like, "A baby? Seriously?" And it's like we've seen Sonic's reaction, and now you're like, "Wonder what Eggman would think." Like you do wonder that.
yeah.
Oh, this is an interesting question. Another question by Metal Sonic. Have you ever done any sort of restoration project on any of your plushies or figures, like cleaning or fixing them up a bit?
Oh, that's a really good question, and I will say it's definitely something I want to learn how to do. Um, there are like I have a couple of like the first four figures statues that I got at a discount because they were a little damaged. I'd love to be able to kind of clean those up a little bit. I don't have a lot of plushies that are in really rough shape, but I do have a little bit of experience like sewing, and I have friends that are very skilled at it. So I think if I needed to restore a plush, I'd definitely go to them. But yeah, no, like bigger figurines or statues or I have a couple of things like that where I'd like to look into restoring them in a way where they look better and not worse. Like I don't want to do a bad job, but I would like to touch them up if I can. If I do, I'll probably make a little video about it. So hopefully that will be a future piece of content.
Ooh, interesting. I'm very curious, Frax. Is there any like piece of merchandise that you actually got signed by actual Sonic voice actors?
Yeah, so it's cool because I had never been to a Sonic convention before this year, like a specific Sonic convention, not just a convention that had Sonic. And boy, it was so nice to actually finally see voice actors in person, have access to them, get the chance to have stuff signed. So I brought a lot of stuff because I'm like, oh my god, like I've had all this stuff for years, but never had the chance to like have voice actors look at it or sign it. So yeah, thanks to the Sonic conventions, I've gotten a lot of stuff signed. I think my favorite stuff to have signed is like the GameCube games, because those were, that's how I got started with Sonic, and GameCube was like a huge gaming influence for me growing up. So like combining the two is awesome. And I mentioned earlier, like the Shadow Tapestry I got to have signed by like all the Shadow voice actors, which was super, super cool. And it's just the best experience to stand in line at events like that and just watch other people interact with them and watch like them do a little video clip with the voice actor, or like ask questions and like hear what the answers are. It's just a super cool experience, especially doing it for the first time, to like finally meet these people and see them interact with fans. It means a lot to the fans, and it's very clear when you see it in person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like is it just the Shadow one that you got the Shadow voice actors, or is there like other ones?
Yeah, so I brought Sonic 06 with me to get Pete Capella to sign, so that was cool. I'm trying to get as many signatures as I can on Sonic Adventure 2. That one's tricky though, because most of those voice actors aren't voice actors for the characters anymore. So been tough to track them down. And then let's see. Yeah, the Shadow signed by Shadow. Mostly Shadows, I think. And I go to some local like comic and anime conventions. I got a couple of things signed by the Blaze voice actress, which was really cool. So,
Ooh, which one?
it was the writer's Blaze voice actress.
Oh, Erica Schroeder.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah, I actually got to meet her. I got to meet her too at San Diego Comic-Con because she was actually doing signings
Awesome.
there. Yeah, I actually gave her like I actually tagged her on Instagram of like my Sylvain's art piece, and she actually loved it and commented on it. And what I did is that I printed out that same art piece, and when I was in line, I gave it to her as a gift, and she's like, "Oh!" And then I said, "Yeah, I saw that you liked my art piece on Instagram," and she's like, "That was you?" I was like, "Yeah, I wanted to give it to you as a gift because I saw that you appreciated it a lot, so I wanted to give it to you as a gift." So she was very she was like she was so happy when I gave it to her.
That is so cool, and that has got to be like the best feeling ever. Like I'm so happy for artists and so proud of them when they get the chance to like have their work recognized like that. Y'all deserve it.
Oh, yeah, she's very, very cool and sweet. Like hopefully one day we get to see Erica and Pete like together in a Sonic convention because it's like we have not got that yet. um, if anything, but it's just so wild.
Yeah.
Like just meeting voice actors.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say the one other thing I forgot about, but I got signed. I got some of the from the second Sonic movie. There was the coffee shop that Agent Stone runs in that movie, and I was able to pick up some of the props from that set, and I actually got a napkin holder from that set signed by Lee at one of the Sonic conventions not too long ago. So that is also a very cool thing I got signed. He has a really fun signature too.
Oh my gosh. You got another set prop? Oh my gosh. You are surprising me, Frax. I'm like,
Well, this
what?
one, yeah, this one I didn't have to sweep up off the middle of the road, but yeah.
That is crazy. Like first you get debris from the
Mm,
car in the first movie, and then you get like a stage prop from the Mean Bean Cafe. Oh my gosh. That's yeah, you're just surprising me and it's amazing. Uh, but but yes, good things must come to an end. I want to thank you, Frax Steels, for being a part of this, like getting to know you and how you got started into being a Sonic collector and just like answering so many great questions from the audience. It's my gosh, it was such a pleasure to have you on.
I'm really grateful for the opportunity. I'm really grateful for the fact that I've met so many cool people like yourself through doing this. And yeah, I just want to thank you for having me on. Um, it's been exciting to try something like this out, and I'd love to do more stuff like it in the future. But yeah, thank you for organizing this, and thank you for all the organization you've done during your festival this week. Oh my gosh, you've got so many people in here.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, I saw you put all my links in the YouTube description too. So thank you so much for that.
yeah.
And thank you to the chat. Awesome questions. Really appreciate you all coming out here. We'll be picking a raffle winner shortly, but yeah, thank you for taking the time to come say hi. I really appreciate it. I'm new to this, and I'm grateful to meet so many cool people.
Yeah, absolutely. Like my spring festival, I want to reach out to like reach out to different fandoms and like and this was like the perfect opportunity to have a Sonic collector, for and get to know a Sonic collector overall, behind the scenes deep dive. Um so but yes, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Of course I'm going to announce the last thing for week 2 of Serenity Spring Festival is this Sunday, April 13th at 2 p.m. PT, 5 p.m. ET, is the Legacy of Scooby-Doo chat Twitter space. If you are a huge Scooby-Doo fan, then we are friends and you're more than welcome to tune in, and we're just going to talk about the entire legacy of the Scooby-Doo franchise that's been around more than 50 plus years. It's just so much fun and being able to so if you wanna tune into that, you're more than welcome to. And of course, I will be announcing week 3 because week 3 schedule was posted on my socials. And week 3 on next Monday, April 14th at 3 p.m. PT, 6 p.m. ET is Miraculous Chat, where I am joined with Chi, aka the Cartoon Hotspot, where we are going to be talking about the Miraculous Ladybug franchise as a whole. And she is also part of my Lucky Charm podcast. So if you are a Miraculous fan, we want to see you there. That is pretty much a Twitter space. And then on next Tuesday, April 15th at 5 p.m. PT, 8 p.m. ET is another Twitter space where I am joined by Kevin, and it will be nostalgic cartoons with myself and Kevin. And that is a Twitter space. And that, of course, as I said, will be 5 p.m. PT, 8 p.m. ET. Then next Wednesday, we actually have day 6 of Serenity Spring Festival for the next Sonic Lore with Radar episode. And this time we are joined by Ava Arctic and Sonic Boone to help us answer any questions about the Archie Sonic comics lore. And that one is at 5 p.m. PT, 8 p.m. ET. Then next Thursday, on April 17th at 5 p.m. PT, 8 p.m. ET is day 7, which is Guess Everything Sonic through Emojis live stream. So tune in to test your knowledge if you know the Sonic franchise as a whole through guessing the set of emojis that will be shown. And this will range from every various Sonic media that you know. So it's not just going to be the games. It could possibly be from the cartoons or the movies or um and yeah, that one's gonna be it's just gonna be me hosting that, and you guys are more than welcome to try and guess every set of emojis I have planned. And then of course next Sunday on April 20th at 5 p.m. PT, 8 p.m. ET is the next live stream, day 8, and it's the next episode of Gotta Spotlight with Leah Serenity Rose, episode 34, which I am doing a Q&A with Emsbury. For those who know her, she is a Sonic VTuber, and I will be doing a Q&A with her. So be sure to tune in for that. And then I got the first two confirmed for week 4 for Serenity Spring Festival. I'm pretty sure for those who are Sylvace fans will love this one. I will be doing a Sylvace chat Twitter space on my Twitter at 5 p.m. PT, 8 p.m. ET on April 21st. And this next one that has been confirmed, I think 2 days ago, was the Voices of Sonic Revolution Twitter space on April 22nd at 5 p.m. PT, 8 p.m. ET. And for those, have you always wanted to ask questions to the Revo VAs about them and their content? And the ones who voice the Sonic characters in the Sonic Revolution voice cast? Here's your chance. And be sure to come and tune in. And the Rebel VAs that are going to be there is Glitch Kitten, Doom the Meme Queen, Heavenly Angie, Infectious Pink, Naze, Andrew HVA, Josh Hodgson, MC Voices, Whispering VA, Chris VA, Jace King, A Blue Moon 88, and Diet Dr. Kelp. So, if you guys have any questions for the Rebel cast, here is your chance to tune in on that Twitter space on my Twitter. As I said, it's April 22, 2025 at 5 p.m. PT, 8 p.m. ET. And of course, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on that bell notifications for upcoming live streams and video content. And hopefully, you guys get to enjoy the rest of Serenity Spring Festivals of live streams and Twitter spaces. May you all have a wonderful night. And of course, before we leave, Fracks, do you want to explain about I think people were having questions about the giveaway. Do you want to reiterate that before we end the live stream?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, if anyone hasn't entered yet, let me paste the entry process in one more time, just in case people need to get their entries in last minute. But yes, I will be picking something shortly. Leah, I just need to double check that we're able to look up these people's accounts so that I can contact them if they are selected. Is there a way for you to do that on your end?
I'm not sure. I think you can click on the thing on their icon. It should lead you to them.
It might only be a host thing. So there's like the set of 3 dots next to their name, and then there's their profile picture. Does clicking on those do anything on your end?
It has channel activity, go to channel, pin message.
Oh, go to channel. Would that take you to their page?
Yes,
Okay,
should
awesome.
be
Then
to.
that should be all we need. Cool. So, are you okay with doing the giveaway live right now? Take like a
Yeah,
couple more
sure.
minutes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, that'd probably be easiest as long as there are people here. So let me get my spinner out.
The moment of truth, the giveaway. Woo!
I hope you guys are ready.
Oh, yeah. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Good luck,
You're
because
live streaming. Discord, right? So I could probably live stream the wheel spinning, huh?
Yeah,
You're
I can
more
just
than
click
welcome
onto
to
your share screen.
Mm-hmm.
Is that working?
Yeah, give me 1 sec. Let me get onto it. Yeah, I have to unmute so that way I can actually communicate. Alright, I'm on it.
Okay. So if you don't see your name in here, you have 30 seconds to let me know.
I did comment my favorite Sonic character. Because you didn't see it.
Let's see.
Oh yeah,
No,
I saw Chris earlier.
Awesome. I'll just put in Chris if that works. Look how big the letters are.
It is what it is.
All right, last call. Anyone else in chat? All right, we are spinning in 3, 2, 1.
Oh?
Congratulations,
Hey!
Salma.
Congratulations.
Congrats, Selma.
Congrats, Salma. Looks like you are the winner for Fracks giveaway of the Sonic and Friends chibi plushes of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles.
Awesome. Okay. So, Leah, if you could please just get me their channel link, so I can contact them. That would be all I need, and then we should be good.
I got you. I'm gonna grab their channel right now. Also, I think they are confused because I don't think they were. I don't think they were in the chat when we announced the winner. But yes, you are the winner for the giveaway.
Let me.
Right, there you
They're
go.
like, what? And they're like, thank you.
All right, we got their contact info. Thank you for that, Chris. And thank you so much to everyone for tuning in and entering. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the support.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like giveaways, I do them quite frequently on my Twitter account and other platforms. So please check that out. There are many opportunities to win things like this.
Yeah. Yes. Congratulations, Salma. Frax will be in contact with you soon. So in order to give you all the details, and Frax will be sending you those cute little 3 plushes. And of course, thank you all for tuning in. Serenity Spring Festival is going strong, and week 4 is slowly starting to get confirmed. But 2 of the week 4 has been confirmed. But yeah, be sure to check my Twitter and Blue Sky because I've been posting there of what the next activity or Twitter space and live streams are. So be sure to tune in. And bye, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.